I've been focused on making the magic happen in my business. And here's the thing. There is no magic. You have to perform. You have to make things happen. So I've literally been on the phone all day long, calling and making efforts to grow my business. All day. All day today. I had a goal. I have a networking business in health. I have a real estate business. My goal was to start lining up some real estate deals and to get at least 10 no's in my networking business today. And so I just started burning up the phone lines, did a little bit of email, followed up with a bunch of people, and I did get my 10 no's today. I also got 3 potential new customers, and I also got a real estate deal working. So that all happened just from taking a day and sitting at the phone and going down a list of people and following up with people I'd already talked to and reaching out to people, cold leads, new leads, reaching out to people. And that's how you make things happen in your business. And so I'm making a personal recommitment to this, that every day I'm going to have a quantity, a defined quantity of calls I'm going to make, or no's I'm going to get, or people I'm going to talk to, new people I'm going to reach out to, and make those things happen, because that is really the only way that you'll start to see results in your business. So it's the income producing activities. Now, here's the thing. What's the underlying concept here besides taking action and making things happen? Here's the underlying concept. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to be uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable all day. I've been talking to people, I've been talking to strangers, not knowing what kind of reaction I was going to get, but that's what it takes. You have to talk to the people. You have to ask. You have to ask. If you're trying to make a sale, ask for the sale. If you're looking for a partnership, you have to ask for the partnership. You want to borrow money or a joint venture, you have to ask for the money. So you have to get on the phone, you have to ask. I really believe that besides face-to-face, because face-to-face is the most effective way to do business, no question about it, to get face-to-face with people. But other than that, it's still just good old-fashioned picking up the phone. And I understand that people have an underlying fear of that, and it's kind of ridiculous. It actually has to do with our old human brain, the whole survival thing, and back in the day when people had to really fight for their survival, not in our current society of technology, and most of your basic needs are handled and that's no sweat. But when you go back to our human survival instincts, there's this part of us that has this ridiculous fear about the unknown, and a ridiculous fear of doing things like calling strangers on the phone or going up to people face to face and talking to them. So here's what you have to realize. One of my mentors, Doran, says this about getting out of your comfort zone. He's actually got a couple stories to tell about it. One is a skydiving story, and the other is a story about African safaris and lions. So we're going to go with the African safari and lion story today. Here's the short version. That phone, nothing happens until you pick it up and call that person. The phone is not a lion. It can't eat you. You don't have to be scared of the phone. It's not a lion. The worst case scenario, they tell you no. And they're not even capable of reaching through the phone and grabbing you by the throat and strangling you. It's not threatening to you at all. There is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. So don't be afraid of the phone. All right, you know what? Now that I told that story, I'm going to tell you the other story I got from my mentor, Doran. And this is the one on jumping out of airplanes, because this is great too when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone. Because the way our brain's wired, and because it is our natural tendency to find a comfort zone and remain within that, and because of the fact that the magic happens in your business when you get outside of your comfort zone, also in your life, by the way. Hey guys, think about asking out the girl that you're really interested in, that you're intimidated by, you're scared to do it. What do you have to do? You have to actually get uncomfortable and ask her out, right? Same with business. That potential client or customer, that potential partner or joint venture, you actually have to get past that fear of yourself. You actually have to get past yourself and jump out of your comfort zone in order to make that a reality. So here's the story about jumping out of planes. My mentor, Doran, went skydiving. And I think everybody of an entrepreneurial mindset, they end up doing at least one, if not more, crazy things in your life, like skydiving, things that just make no rational sense whatsoever, other than for the purpose of proving to yourself that you can have some guts and do it, right? So my mentor, Doran, gets up in this plane. They get up at whatever the altitude is, 12,000 feet, I don't know, where they're going to jump out of the plane. Door slides open. To this point, he'd been pumping himself up. He was nervous, but he'd been pumping himself up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Door slides open. Brain's like, nope. Look down, wind everywhere, The plane's going by. He's thinking about splitting himself over the tail at 120 miles an hour, how he's going to get sliced in half. Thinking about jumping and maybe the chute doesn't come open and he ends up as a pancake on the ground. I mean, you can think of a million scenarios that your brain will come up with to tell you it is not natural and it is not okay for us to jump out of this plane right now. And so here's what Doran had to do, and this is what he shared in a mentoring session that I was a part of. And this is, you can transfer this to any irrational fear you have in your life, or even rational fear, one that's a rational fear, like jumping out of a plane. You have to, for that first 20 seconds, all it really takes is 20 seconds. I mean, think about it. Calling a stranger on the phone, approaching a stranger face to face, not knowing if they're going to reject you or not. All it takes is that first 20 seconds. That's really the hardest part. That's the hardest part. So what you have to do is you have to cognitively switch off that switch in your brain that's concerned with fear of rejection or fear of whatever it is. You have to switch off fear, and you just have to throw your body out the plane window. I'm speaking metaphorically. Now, this is what my mentor had to do. He said, I literally had to switch my brain off for 20 seconds, not even 20 seconds, just the first few seconds, to jump out of that damn plane. And so that's what he did. He switched it off. He literally threw his body physically out the side of the plane. Bam, there you go, skydiving. So, same principle in your business and in your daily action steps where you've got fear as a factor in play. You have to switch off your brain, take those first 20 seconds, literally throw yourself into the situation and out of your comfort zone. You'll be amazed how many times it works out in your favor. And hey, even if it ends up with a failure, 9 times out of 10, it's nowhere near the disaster that you imagine. Our brain is really good at manufacturing reasons to be afraid. But you don't need to be afraid. So switch your brain off for the first 20 seconds, jump into that conversation, jump into that phone call, jump into the proposal, whatever it is that you need to do, and make it happen. Get out of your comfort zone. That will make the magic happen.